to Unlocking Freedom in Nature and Art. So excited to have everyone here today. And I have one of my good friends, Irene, here. Irene, welcome.
Hey, how are you, Tammy? So nice to see you.
Thank you. I'm doing good. So, how are you? You're calling in from where? So, our guest.
Buffalo, New York. So I am just, if you don't know where that is, sometimes people think I'm closer to New York City, which is actually across the state, but I am just 20 minutes from the honeymoon capital of the world, which is Niagara Falls, and just a stone's throw away from Canada for all our Canadian friends listening
So
in.
you're so you're on the opposite side of the country, just about like me, because I mean I'm only an hour from the Canadian port border as well, so not too far. So, and
And where are you again?
I'm in North Idaho between Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint.
That's
So we're in
Central Time or is that Western Time?
it's Pacific times.
Oh, Pacific.
So,
Okay.
so I'm up in the Lake Country mountains, trails, all the I think we have like
Oh.
133 lakes here. So.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I love seeing your pictures. It's just so gorgeous there.
Thank you. So, no, we love it here. So, one day, I mean, I've been to New York City, but I've never been to Buffalo. So, I will have to do that. So, when we get started here, before I just want to reach out and say hi to everyone that's watching. If you have any comments or questions, be sure to post. I may not see them, Irene might see them, or we'll see them later. So, and if you're watching at a later time, thank you for taking the time out of your day. We appreciate that you're taking the time to be here, and we're hoping that you get something out of this, right, Irene?
Absolutely.
So we're going to start this off today with this Irene's story, a little bit of a background here, because a lot of you are new and haven't heard her story. So we're going to, Irene, I want to know where you grew up and kind of the backgrounds to led you to where you are at today.
Okay, so I was born in Buffalo. Kind of, I guess I surprised my parents pretty quickly because apparently I was born on an orange couch in the living room. They did take us to the hospital afterward. A police officer brought me into this wonderful, wonderful life, and it is a wonderful life, isn't it? Love,
It is.
gratitude,
That's
and
a good
it,
memory for your parents, huh?
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, they're all gone now, my closest family. But I have my two beautiful girls who are both in college, so proud of them. Yeah, so I basically, I don't want to go into the bullied in high school story and all that stuff. I mean, you guys can read about that because a lot of people resonate with that. But I'd always dreamed of being a writer or an author or a journalist or a doctor. And growing up, way back then, and I'm gonna want to date myself here, but things were different. And I was told, oh, honey, you should be a nurse. You have a pretty face. You could marry a doctor. Why would you tell a kid that? Like why try to crush their dreams? When I said I wanted to own my own flower shop because I was studying horticulture, because I've always loved nature and plants myself, you probably didn't know that about me, that I took horticulture in high school.
I didn't. See, that's actually why I like to ask the same question with returning guests because you guys always surprise me with some new answer, some new
Mhm.
trivia. So that is interesting. I
Yeah, I
love
love
that.
plants. I love nature. I thought, oh, maybe I'll be a forest ranger or own my own flower shop or, they taught me, oh, well, honey, make sure actually, I was required to take typing. And had I known that
I was
computers were going to
too.
be the big thing, right? But they said, oh, it's in case you ever have to fall back on secretarial work. I'm like, I am never going to have to fall back on secretarial work. I'm like, I'm going to own my own business. I got 2 degrees in business. I went into business management, but I might as well share a little bit of that story. One of my teachers fell ill, my English teacher, and I was always a straight A student. And we had this fill-in. I still remember him, his face, his name, can hear his voice like it was yesterday. And he was filling in for the remainder of the year. So I got my first paper back. Again, straight A's all year. English was my favorite subject. I loved books. I loved writing. And I got a big red C on my Paper. Did you forget to hit record? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh no. It's like these moments like this when we're just so real. We all make mistakes, and that substitute teacher made a mistake by crushing the hopes of a young aspiring author and writer, to become a writer. And when I got to see, there were no notes telling me how to improve my grade, what I did wrong, nothing. He just gave me, I don't even know if he read it. He just gave me a C circled in red. So at the end of class, I'm like this geeky, nerdy kid with my glasses, and I'm like terrified of this guy because he seemed so mean. And I walked up to him and I said, "Can you please tell me why I got a C?" And he said it was a bad paper. And I said, "Well, can you tell me how to improve?" I mean, this guy was controlling my grade. Talk about a lesson in power as a kid. And he said, "You're a bad writer." Tammy, I'm not
Oh,
even kidding you. Every time I write, which is pretty much every day,
right.
I still hear his voice like it was yesterday. You're a bad writer. And we all, as authors and writers, feel that way sometimes. We all have
We
imposter
do.
syndrome. Hmm.
Yeah, because we're like the biggest critics usually of our own work, right? So we find all
Exactly.
the little faults, My grandmother had a ranch, my grandparents had a ranch, but one of the things she did, she wrote for the newspapers in
Oh,
the
that's
area.
so
So
cool.
when I was younger, I would go with her, like when she'd do like the weddings and different things, they put all those little announcements in the paper. And
Yeah.
I'd go with her and she would tell me, it's like, you have to be accurate. You cannot lie. It's like describe.
Right.
And it was really interesting just going with her and meeting all the different people and
Oh,
stuff. But my
yeah.
grandmother, because I remember the exact same stuff in high school, the have take typing, take shorthand, take
Mm-hmm.
all these classes that we never use today,
Mm-hmm.
right? But my grandmother, she was such a huge influence on me because she was one of those go-getter women out there
Right.
doing stuff all the time because
Mm-hmm.
you didn't see that often.
Right. No,
You know,
women, they cooked and cleaned and took care of the kids. Yeah, it's,
women were considered outcasts. They weren't paid the same. People
yeah,
have no idea what we went through, It's like
yes.
it's a different era, and I'm thankful for that.
Me too. You took the words out of my mouth, Tammy. I was about to say, I am so grateful for all those women who paved the way to make it so much easier for us to step into these roles that were non-traditional for women. Like women were salespeople. I went right into sales after college and got my first sales job. And I worked at my favorite radio station for 3 years at Hit Kiss 98.5, the number one hit music station. Had all kinds of accounts, big accounts like Nabisco and nightclubs. It was fun. Shay's Performing Arts, I'd get free tickets, things like that. It was fun. But so I
But
was in sales for a long time.
that's awesome.
But
Well, I wanted to
yeah,
throw this little point out though. We never played the victim, and
no.
because a lot of times people play the victim. No, we wanted to
Mhm.
earn our own way and be recognized for that. We didn't want to get the job or the role just because we were a woman. We actually worked our fannies off to get
Yes.
that, so
Mhm.
because I believe everybody is of equal value. We should all be treated the same and we should be paid accordingly to our work, not to, oh, because I'm a female or a male or anything else.
Yeah,
So I just wanted to
absolutely.
point that out because a lot of people today, there's different people, not everyone, think that just because you're a woman, you should move up the ladder. And if you're not met that great at your job, to me, you should be let go.
Yeah. Oh,
So, or
absolutely.
you know what I
Then
mean?
it's probably not the right job for you. I know. I know. If you're not thriving in it, then it probably really is not what's meant. But some
Right.
people, there are lazy people though. It's
In
unfortunate
every
to say,
category. Yes.
but exactly in every single category, every type of job too. I mean, like there are great lawyers and there are shady lawyers. There are great doctors. There are doctors that, not so much, so
There is in
it's
every
everything,
category. So you can never just
every
group
category.
anybody together. So, Anyway, back to your sales job. Sorry that.
Well, so what happened was, so then actually I was so blessed that I was so fortunate that we could afford that I could, stay in raise my children and stay home for 4 years. So I was a stay-home mom, which was wonderful. We had moved to North Carolina, my husband's at the time, his work. And he was there building another plant down there and lived in a wonderful, area there in North Carolina. And then my sister, and then we moved back to Buffalo to be close to my sister. We were so close, and we were like practically Irish twins. We were only 18 months apart, Natalie and I. And her birthday just passed, December 11th. So, but Natalie fell ill, and unfortunately, she did die from breast cancer.
So
And
sorry.
thank you. And it really, she was my best friend, and I still miss her so much, especially this time of year. But
I can only imagine because our girls are
yeah.
actually 18 months apart, and our daughter's birthday was December 12th. My mom's
Oh,
birthday was
happy
December 11th.
birthday.
So
Oh, that was Natalie, December 11th. Yeah. So we are soul sisters, girl.
we are.
We really are. So yeah, so I finally, so her husband kept saying, he kept giving me things of hers. He gave me this charm bracelet, and I wear this little angel wings, which I took off the bracelet. It was kind of too clinky and loud. But I wear her angel wings on a chain. And then this one was from my girls, this little Cancer symbol for my birthday in July. But so she's always close to my heart right here. And one day he said, Irene, come on over. You could go through her things, take whatever you want. And we were both book geeks. She had boxes and boxes of books. And I'm kneeling down on the floor. She had this like office slash sewing room. They had this really cute little Cape Cod house. So I was upstairs and I brought over a bottle of wine. He cracked open a beer and we were, celebrating Natalie. But I was going through boxes and boxes of books, and what I found was not one, not two, but more than 10 books about how to write a book, how to be a writer, how to get paid to write, how to get paid to speak. I never even knew that Natalie wanted to
Oh,
write a book.
wow.
Yeah, and I had always wanted to write a book. So I remember it was 2015 because that night I went home. I took a bunch of them with me, a bunch of recipe books and cool books, all the writing books. And I just jumped on the computer. So I was a realtor for 10 years. I was a realtor at the time, successful realtor full time. And I single mom too at the time. And I got on the computer and I just typed in how to become a writer. And up popped the prestigious AWAI organization. And I signed up for my very first writing course outside of college and things. I took a lot of writing courses and things like that and speaking and went through the Dale Carnegie Sales Advantage, blah, blah, blah. But so this was through the prestigious AWAI. I'm actually going through it again. And it was called the Six-Figure Accelerated Copywriting Course, How to Get Paid to Be a Writer. And now it's called the Seven-Figure Accelerated Copywriting Course. I'm going through that again because it's all updated. And so I signed up and I just started writing. I started my own little blog, and then I flew down to Delray Beach, Florida, where I sat in a room with 400 writers, and I felt home. I'm like, I found my people. And I just met all these amazing copywriters and speakers and things like that while I was there. Some of which are now, at least four of the people that I met at that 4-day conference are in my book anthology, which is super exciting. They're like top A-list like copywriters. They like spoke at the event. I was just there to
Right.
learn. But like Dan Kennedy spoke there. It was the first time I even heard of him. So I met so many amazing people. And yeah, so then I built my own website, and then I started creating courses. One of my first courses was how to build your own website in 60 minutes or less, because I was building them for myself. And I'm like, I could do this, and I could actually do one in 15 minutes. I got, so good at it. And I was just nuts. I was buying all these different websites. I kept having ideas. I'm like, I gotta buy that website. I gotta buy that website. Never, I mean, there's a
Been
yoga
there, been there.
one. There was, right? Now I think I only have four, but whatever. A couple of them are like coming soon, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, so that was really exciting. I started learning about email marketing, started building my first email list, started publishing articles and publishing on my blog. Then I started writing for certain magazines. I've been published in the Barefoot Writer, and actually, I was featured in the Barefoot Writer, that is the prestigious AWAI. Mindy McCourse, the chief editor, she just reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, can I interview you?" So that was a lot of fun. My
Awesome.
daughter's like, it's so funny when those opportunities come, right? And you think it's going to be this tiny little article. And my daughter's like, Mom, you're like on page 4, and it's this big 2-page spread. So it's just proud little moments that you go through. So, to that substitute teacher, whatever, like, and now I'm an international best-selling author in 4 countries, which
Right.
led me to doing this book anthology. So I'm just so passionate about helping other aspiring writers, get out of their own way and to just write.
Right. So now tell us a little bit about let's break it down so everybody can, so even the kids that are listening know exactly what you're talking about for this new book that you're coming out with.
Absolutely. And also, too, Tammy, I don't know if I told you, but I'm building now my newsletters on Substack, which is the hottest new platform for writers. So, anybody out there who's aspiring to be a writer, just go there, sign up. There's all kinds of help and tutorials to help you learn how to just, and my theme, it's called The Power of Writing, my newsletter, but I'm Irene Just Write. And so I just tell people to just write and inspire people. But this anthology is actually a collection of authors. So I think I'm going to have about 33 authors in the book, and it's called The Power of Why 29 in or 30. I don't know. I'm not sure of the number. It was 29, and I think I'm going to do 33 because I all the spots are almost filled, and I know I have at least 5 more people that are interested. So 33 authors wrote a book, and why you should too.
So
So I'm
awesome.
really excited about it. We've got some amazing people in it. If you don't know who Bond Halbert is, he is son of he's also author of, well, his father is author of the Boron Letters. And if you don't know who Gary Halbert is, he is the late great copywriter, reputed to be the best direct response copywriter of all time. So, I mean, literally made millions, in the copywriting world, back when mail order was still a thing. Well, Bond took his book called The Boron Letters, which is like one of the number one books you're supposed to, read when you're starting out writing, right? And Bond put his own little notes explaining how you can take that copywriting information and use it for modern day email marketing and things like that, which is brilliant. And it's still a bestseller. He said he makes $2,000 to $7,000 a month in passive income still from that book. It's still one of the top business and writing books out there. So Bond is in my book. He wrote an amazing
Awesome.
chapter. Yeah, and it's all about how to sell more books and how to make money, how to get Amazon to promote your books for you, too. And I have an exclusive interview with Bond that I'm still editing. My authors have gotten the first clip of an exclusive 40-minute interview where Bond just drops gold and gems on how to sell more books. So if you're already an author and you want to sell more books, you need to get that video, but I'm only giving it to my authors who sign up for the anthology right now. And then I'll probably start selling it as like a little course.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so we've got Bond, then we've got Pauline Lungden, we've got Ray Brent, amazing authors. They've written so many incredible books. Pauline, one of the first books she wrote was about how to overcome depression. She shares her story about how she was a nurse and how she got terminated from the army, and then almost committed suicide, and then how she became a writer, and now she's an international keynote speaker, A-list copywriter, all over the world. So I have authors in 5 different countries. Ray and Pauline are in Australia. I have a wonderful young author from Malaysia, which is cool. We've got authors in the UK, Canada, and the United States, and so excited. And then Bond, who hangs out in LA and walks on the beach every day because that's his life, a
Right.
cushy, nice life. His good friend Tom is a big Hollywood screenplay writer, and
Yeah.
he's worked with Matthew McConaughey and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And
Oh,
he wrote an amazing chapter for the book. So he's also in the book. Who else? So many incredible people. I can't name them all because I have right now I have 24. But just yesterday, my dear friend Glory, who was also in the my first two books in the Power of Why, she's done five. So she's a music teacher and she teaches music teachers. And she's done five of them and took all five of them to international best-selling status. And yesterday, when I first asked her if she would be in the book, she said, I'm just so busy right now. And then we got on a Zoom yesterday and she said, I would be delighted to be in the book. So she
right.
signed up, she's in the book, and she's given me a list of people to reach out to. So this is going to fill up fast. I'm really, really excited. Um, but she was, oh my God, such a super help. She's done five of these. This is my first one that I'm organizing. So she gave me great tips, time saving, making it easier for all the authors, creating a little better system and process that I've been doing. I wish I would have talked to her last month, but now it's going to be just even better for all of the authors. I'm really excited. And Glory, her last book was endorsed by Jack Canfield, who
Right.
is author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And she was in Hollywood with him. They've become fast friends, and they did a movie together that's going to be released this spring. So,
She
guys,
probably knows my publisher and stuff because he was really good friends with Jack Canfield and
oh, is it
Raymond.
oh, I don't know.
So,
Because
but
there's Steve
anyway,
Harrison, but that's well,
but
Steve Harrison is his publicist.
right. So, and
Right.
you've, and then we need to let the audience know you've written several other books too. What was,
I have.
so, in one of them wasn't it something about fitness or fit?
Yeah, so it was my first book. Oh, there's nothing like your first book. And I still love that book. I mean, I read it now and I'm like, oh, I could have written this so much better. Whatever. But you know what? The point is, it's only 50 pages long. So it doesn't have the title on the spine, but I just needed to get this done. And it's called Zipping It Up, How to Lose 5 Pounds Fast and Look Great in That Little Black Dress. So it's just kind of like how to just, really get that last little 5 pounds off and really feel good about yourself, before an event. So I
Right.
share tips. I have recipes in there, and I've helped a lot of people. I've my only, other than all my 5-star reviews, my only 4.5-star review or 4-star, whatever, something like that, is she said, I wish there were more recipes. And so I was speaking to my publishing coach because I'm actually getting ready to pitch some of my ideas to the big five, publishers.
Right.
And she said, Irene, that is fantastic. She said, they will love that. This because your only bad review is they want more of you. I hadn't thought of it that way, until she said that. I'm like, oh yeah, right. She's like,
Well,
that's
and hopefully you're more
fantastic.
like me, not like me. A lot of my recipes are in my head. They're not
Hmm.
written down.
Hmm.
So, or I change. So
Mine
it's
too.
people will like, oh, can I have that recipe? And then I have to go and write it up. So, which I've
Yeah.
gotten to where at least I type it up now so I can just send it, to them
Yes, me
because
too.
it's so hard because it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to remake it in order to remember kind of what I have in it.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you
Which
just
is
never know.
fun, which is fun. But
It
it
is.
was a little time consuming, and that's probably why I didn't have more because I had to do exactly that because mine too, they're in my head and I've made them so many times. Like tonight, I'm making linguine with clam sauce for dinner, and I just know what to do.
Right.
But I like to get ideas from other recipes. I like to look at a few to get ideas, especially if I'm making something new. And then I always kind of mix a little from this one, a little from that one based on my preferences, and then I create my own,
Well,
you
one of the
know.
cookbooks, because I mean, have a whole cabinet full of cookbooks. One of the cookbooks, magazines, you might call it, is called Cuisine. But they have
I
some
think I
different
have that one.
recipes because, and they use different seasonings than you're used to. And so it's always
Hmm.
fun trying something new to see if you like it or not. Um,
Right.
which I usually slightly tweak a little bit, but if all you have to do is slightly
Hmm.
tweak, that's a good recipe, right?
Yeah, it is. It really, really is. And it's perfectly legit, to call that recipe your own because
Right.
it is your own creation. And yeah, you got to be careful though. Some of those unique spices, like saffron or something. It's like you use it one time and it's $20 for this tiny vial, and then it's like, okay, I'm never gonna use. When am I gonna use that again? Or
Yeah.
But
Well, about
anyway.
2 months ago, we had a chef actually out at our house and he prepared a whole
Oh,
meal. And that was a different experience. It was a fun experience.
wow.
And he cooks for the different movie stars and different people that come into the area.
Wow, is that a gift?
Yeah, well, actually, he did it because he wanted to get to know me and see my art, and it was my way to see what
Oh,
his food was like. So, because we have some of the same clientele, so
oh,
that I could refer and met his entire family later on and stuff. But
wow.
so it was an awesome experience. It was different
That,
because I had never had anybody else come into my kitchen and cook an entire meal, you know.
yeah, that sounds like a wonderful experience. How
So,
fun.
so it was a blessing. So now to get back kind of to what we were talking about on our show here today is about memories. So how writing a story can bring clarity to our lives, and memories. Because during the holidays, um, what we notice is memories pop up, just kind of like you said in December.
Mhm.
During Thanksgiving and Christmas, it seems like it goes so fast. I don't know about anybody
Mhm.
else, but for me, it's like on super speed. It's 4 weeks is like 2 weeks,
I
con is
know.
what it feels
I
like.
can't believe it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. I was just talking to my daughter this morning and I'm like, oh my, she said, well, I'll call you tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, it's Christmas Eve. So my kids, I was upset at first because I thought that I was going to spend Christmas with them this year. But they, for years, like 3 years, have been trying to schedule this trip to go to Houston and to see their cousins and some of the extended family there. So they're in Houston. They've been having such a great time. They went to Galveston and they're in shorts and skirts. It's been 80 degrees there. She said it doesn't feel like Christmas. And then she's going to Chicago with her boyfriend and his family for a few days before, but she'll be back for 3 weeks. And then my youngest is coming back on Friday. So we'll have our little belated Christmas celebration. But also, I don't know if you know this or not, but so my parents are both Ukrainian. So I'm Ukrainian. They were actually both born in Ukraine. And so my mother always kept the tree up until January 7th, which is Ukrainian Christmas. That's
Which
just
is the
according
Christmas, I
to the
believe,
calendar.
in Africa and different places around the world. So
Oh, I didn't actually, I didn't know that. I knew it was somewhere else, but I wasn't sure. Maybe it was Greece or something. But yeah, so I've kept that tradition alive that typically I don't take my tree down until the 7th. And usually we just exchange one little gift. Like I would just get the kids one. That's what my mom did. She'd give us one little gift on the 7th. She'd go get all those after Christmas sales. But
hey,
but
this is
so I've
perfect.
yeah, so I think we decided we're going to celebrate Christmas on the 7th, which will be fun. So yeah, and
Well,
Hanukkah just ended, so they celebrated Hanukkah with the Jewish side of the family. So they're having a really good time. I'm happy for them. And it's so funny how things work out because I've been so busy with this book anthology that, it would have been hard, it would have been challenging to, squeeze in fun trips to the mall or doing things, with the kids. So,
right.
so this is actually working out nicely for everyone, I think. It's funny
Well,
how
it
things
is.
work out. you know?
Well, and you'll be creating some new memories, but it's like when you look back, even just decorating a tree, it's like
Mm,
you have different ornaments and stuff. And a friend last night was telling me
yeah.
how every year they give an ornament to each kid, and each kid writes something on it. They give a pen on
Oh,
Christmas Day and date, like something, a memory from that year. So there's
mm-hmm.
so many different things.
How
It's like, so
cute.
buddy, in our audience, what is one Christmas memory or tradition that you do every year? So
Oh, this will be
I would love
fun.
it if you would share that. Do you have a special Christmas tradition that you do every year?
Well, there were a few. So I always did, my sister Natalie always did Thanksgiving at her house, and I always did, for years, did Christmas Eve. And so also, which I haven't always practiced, but Natalie also, her first love was also Ukrainian, and his family traditionally ate vegetarian on Christmas Eve, and then they'd have ham on Christmas. So she would always make this vegetarian borscht, which is beet soup. It's a Ukrainian soup. So she would always she would normally make it with a little bit of beef, but for Christmas Eve. So I try every year to make the borscht on Christmas Eve, which my kids will eat a little. They're not huge fans, but I love it. It's so healthy and so delicious. And then I would always get a salmon. Um, but other than that, just the tree tradition, on the 7th. And yeah, and then for a while I was making on Christmas morning. And this is actually a really great idea for anybody out there. I'm not sure what your traditions are, but I started making this holiday French toast for Christmas breakfast, and it was perfect when the kids were little because you make it the night before, which, so we're cleaning up and, things like that after dinner, after everybody leaves. Then I would always make the holiday French toast. Actually, sometimes I would make it in I'd make it a little extra pan for somebody that was there while I was making it. And then you soak it overnight and you have like cranberries in it and just so delicious. And then when you get up in the morning, start your coffee and pop it in the oven. By the time you're done opening Christmas presents, it's ready, you know?
Oh,
So I
I've done
loved
that same
that.
French toast before. So
Hmm.
it's like my daughter makes eggs Benedict
Oh,
Christmas morning.
yum.
I mean,
Oh,
I would
that's
do
nice.
like kolaches or French toast or some
Mhm.
type of sweet bread, something with
Yeah.
with
So
meaning.
what about you? What about you? Is there a special tradition you have to share?
Well, besides candlelight service on Christmas Eve,
Oh, nice.
Christmas Day, we always end up celebrating at our home here. So, which I do the whole turkey thing and stuff, and the kids usually now, since they're all grown up, come around noon and we end up playing games. And one of the games we play is bingo after we open gifts and stuff.
Oh,
It's
fun.
we started this tradition probably like 10 years ago because it's such a relaxing game to play because you
Hmm.
don't have to really think. You just have to, someone calls out the numbers. And we use our advent calendar. I put numbers in it. So if you win the bingo, you open a box, you either get a chocolate or a little gift tag, and then you go match it
Oh,
up with the gift number, and that's your gift. And you can exchange them later on, but it's always fun because it's like, okay, what
oh,
is our
how
theme for this year for
fun.
gifts? Last year was all hiking stuff. For our bingo prizes can be more expensive than anything else. But you can put it bogus. You could go to the dollar store. There's just so many. It's just fun. And you get to visit, and it creates those memories. This year, it's everybody wanted treats, snacks. So
Hmm.
that's what it is.
Oh, what a cute
And
idea.
we
I
throw in,
love
and we'll even throw
that.
in gift cards or,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
even a nice Yeti, it's just
Yeah.
so we have some good prizes, and then you have the more inexpensive, it's just a
Yeah.
variety. So you never know what you're going to get, but
Yeah.
it's fun. And both of our girls, they pitch in and do prizes too, so that
Hmm.
if we win, it's okay. We can all win.
Yes.
So, but
Oh, that's
it's
so
a fun
fun.
tradition.
Yeah, I love that. That's really, really
But
cool.
whenever create memories, and I don't know if anybody saw this, but I created that video called Memories. It's just the short reel. I plan on finishing it here, hopefully today or tomorrow, because I want it in time for Christmas, right? It only took 5 apps to create it. So
Only
if you
five.
see it. But it was, but this full song is what I want. I want to complete it because the full song is so pretty because it brings back the memories of growing up even
Mhm.
with Christmas.
Oh,
Those,
that's
like you said,
fun.
those little traditions or things that you remember growing up. Because, a lot of times we'll remember, like you said, like the teacher who was mean or the different things. But then there's
Yeah.
also those good memories that carry us on.
Mhm.
It's like I was telling my granddaughter I think it was like a week ago, because she was saying how she's starting to play guitar. And I'm like, well, I remember when I was like 10, I was in 5th grade, and my teacher taught, and he also gave me free lessons, like my first 3 lessons. And then, but he also, him and his wife gifted me this little Cocker Spaniel, a puppy, you know, and
Oh,
he was just an awesome teacher. Him and his wife they
that's
were just
so cool.
incredible people, So so every Christmas, I do remember that at Christmas, or you remember maybe a special gift, a special moment. Uh, and the other thing is if there's something really special, maybe write it down in a journal, right?
Oh, really great idea. And what a great gift that is. I have so many pretty journals that my kids have like bought me over the years because they know I just love to write. I can't have enough. I just love them. It's such a wonderful gift.
It is.
That's a great idea. Those are all really great ideas. I love the bingo idea. It reminds me of one of the things that I've just really thankful for from throughout my life is that I've always had this desire to volunteer and just, help people and give back to the community. So for years, I was actually on the disaster action team for the American Red Cross, which was really rewarding. I mean, challenging, but really, really
Right,
rewarding, helping people, making sure that people had a safe place to sleep and, warm and clean clothes and food, So,
right.
and then for years, I also volunteered with an organization called Units. It's now called Connect Life, which is our local organ, tissue, and blood collection organization here. And um, and it's nice because they keep all of the blood local and things like that. But I met so many. I did that for I don't know, like 10 years or something. Then I mentored a refugee once from Burma. That just rewarding experiences. But every year, units would put on a holiday party for all the volunteers, which was great because we could share stories. Well, why are you here? Why do you volunteer? And most of the people there organ donation had somehow touched their lives. Either a family member was saved because of an organ or blood, transfusion, or they, were a donor or something and had saved a life. Or so at the time, I hadn't, and who knew? Like talk about connecting the dots, looking backwards. Like who knew that it was going to become a big part of my story after Natalie passed? But it was just something I thought was really important. I wanted to, in my own way, as little as it was, by spreading the word, I would work booths at events and hospitals, just answering questions about it, getting people to register as an organ donor. And at the holiday party, we played bingo every year. They would
Oh,
put together this Christmas brunch, which is wonderful. And I one year I won 3 baskets. I was like, I've already got two. And they're like, you won, and then everyone got one. everybody got a basket. Nobody went home without one. They played until everyone got one. And so they're like, everyone's going to get one. Cause I was like, I can't take three. And they're like, yes, you can. Oh my God, like car wash coupons, candy, wine glasses. I just don't even remember so many wonderful gifts. And other people, we'd all have our baskets and be like, oh, you know, I wish I got that. And like, oh, let's swap, or here you can have the t-shirt. I'll use that. Okay. It
Right.
was really, really, really fun. Such a wonderful way for them to give back to us for in thanking us for giving. I love that idea, Tammy, the bingo. It's
Well,
usually
it's so relaxing, you know?
yeah, yeah. Maybe down the road, like once my girls get married, I don't, I don't have grandchildren yet, and then the little ones, like that will be fun. I'll have to remember that for down the road,
Well,
but
it's because it's
now
a
it's
game
usually pretty
that
small.
no matter your age,
Hmm.
enjoy, because even at like 4 years old, kids can figure out where they put stuff, you know? And if you want
Yes.
for little kids, you can always separate the piles. It's like, okay, there's your pile,
Yeah,
or trade later on. So, but
exactly.
it's a just doing those kind of things is fun. And talking about volunteering, yeah, our church was they do ask for volunteers because we have so many people that go to our church every year. And
Yeah.
I, like you said, Soul Sisters, I volunteered for years working with youth. And same reason,
Mm.
because there's something that probably happened to you in the past, or something that you desire. My desire was always to help the youth because they're our future. And so
Yeah.
if you can help guide them or just be there for them, it's awesome. I don't do as much volunteer work as I used to,
I
um,
don't either.
just because because we're so
Well,
busy
well,
working on our own new projects,
well, I
right?
started my own business, and
Yeah.
now I give back in other ways, by giving free
Yes.
information and
Or doing
value and
this, right?
yeah, right?
Because
It's
this is the
sharing.
because
Yeah.
this is all volunteer that we're doing.
It is. It is. And so just giving on a larger scale, to be honest with you, like once you become a content creator and like a podcast host and an author and a writer, you can touch more lives in a less amount of time, and you create something once and then you have the replays and you have the shares. And so it really is a much more powerful way to give back and to help way more people. I mean, writing a book, right?
Right.
You write it once and then it can still, help people for years and years. People still buy my weight loss book. And I published it what 2017. So it's still helping people. So I just
That's
start giving it.
awesome.
I just give it away to friends. I send them the PDF. I'm like, oh, here, you can have my, like, oh gosh, I need to lose a few pounds. I'm like, here, let me send you my book, or some, if I
Right.
have copies, I just give it away, when I buy the author's copies and I'm like, here, I have a copy of my book. I love giving it away. And then like my girlfriend, she texted me. She goes, "Oh my gosh, she's getting ready for a trip to China." She sent me pictures from the dressing room at the store and with this gorgeous dress on. And she's like, "Irene, I dropped 2 dress sizes in 6 weeks doing everything in your book." And I'm like, "Yay!" So it's
That's
like she was
awesome.
so excited for her trip and she went shopping and bought all these new clothes. And so the magnitude of that, and yeah, maybe your book won't be a big, chicken soup for the soul, 500,000 copies sold, but even if it just helps one person, isn't it worth
Right.
it?
And
Isn't it
people
worth
don't
it?
realize, because it's like I have my book too. But there's so much
And yours
information
is about
from people.
gratitude,
So
right?
mine is called The Power of
Yes.
Art in Nature, 10 ways it can help improve
Oh,
your life. So,
oh, that's lovely.
but and it's like I have if you're here, I usually give copies, but you can purchase it on Amazon. Um, just because I don't ship it that often because the shipping anymore is like $7, $10 a
Oh,
book.
yeah,
It was
no,
cheaper
I
for people to
know.
actually just to purchase it off of Amazon where the shipping's free.
Exactly, exactly. Honestly, sometimes when I do send it to someone, sometimes I'll just ship it right from Amazon and send it to them because authors' copies take a long time to get
They
too.
do. And then
Yeah, like
by the time we
yeah,
pay for our
12
copy and the
weeks.
shipping, and it's like
Yeah,
we don't want to sound cheap, but at the same time, as
yeah,
a business
yeah.
owner, we have to watch
Right.
our expenses.
Exactly. Well, that's why I also just have the PDF and I just have it where I can just say, oh, give me your email and just boom, just send it to you. Like, like easy
Yeah,
peasy, right?
it
But
is,
um,
but
but
oh
it's
yeah,
nice.
because
I love a book though. I do love holding a book though.
I
I did
do
want
too.
to
And I
say though, I want to gift you. I'd like to gift you if you'd like a copy of my best-selling ebook. For having me on the show. So I was going to text you this morning, but I was busy. I forgot. So that book is called Podcast Power, is the Zipping It Up Guide to Land Podcast and Radio Interviews Fast. It's my best-selling ebook. It's normally $47. It's really more of a course in the form of a book. And I know you get opportunities all the time, but that template inside the book, you can pitch to any TV, radio station, even publications. It's the same system and format. And one of my friends, Brittany, actually bought the book, and she got on four big TV shows. And she was so excited. And now then somehow she was invited to be Ms. Chicago. She became Ms. Chicago, then
us,
Ms. Illinois, and then she placed in the top six in the Miss USA pageant just this past summer. So, and now she's a
and we
keynote international speaker who speaks all over the world. That's the power of the media.
oh, it is. We had Elaine on that. She was Miss Tennessee, Texas, and or Mrs. Texas, and I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
she went on and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, we have so many incredible guests on here, and to be honest,
Yeah.
I haven't. I know I need to go on other people's shows. I just haven't had time. But
I
thank
know.
you. I
I
appreciate because
know.
one day I will, right? So this time
Yeah.
of year is my catch-up time of year because to be honest, during the summertime, I'm spending it outside as much as
Yeah.
possible, going on nature hikes, or out in my garden,
Hmm.
just enjoying a life. So
Well, one of my clients in Colorado, I've gotten him on so many podcasts. I mean, just in TV shows and radio shows, etc. He lives in Colorado, and when it's nice out, he would just sit outside and do them for his interviews. I thought it was kind of cool.
yeah. Now is that what's his name that's been on our show?
Yes, I think yeah. Yeah, I've gotten quite a few guests on your show, I
You
think.
have.
I wonder if I have to follow up with that other woman. I
She has
always,
not scheduled yet. So
oh,
if
maybe
anybody
people forget.
they do. So anybody watching, if you have somebody that you think would be awesome on the show, even if it's you, please direct message me. So I am taking applications for 2026 right now. So thank
Awesome.
you for the
Absolutely.
reminder there. So is there anything else? Time's flown. Is there anything else you wanted to mention today?
I love coming on your show. I love coming back. Thank you so much for having me. I think right now, so I only have these spots are filling up fast. Two authors signed up yesterday for the anthology. If anyone is interested in being in this book, it's more than just a book collaboration. I'm only looking for 750 to 1,000 words, which you can easily knock out in 2 hours or less to be in the book. And then, of course, you can have your bio in the book and also a link to your book to help you sell more books. And then I'm also creating a mastermind for the authors so that we all can kind of meet and collaborate, maybe do JVs together. So, really kind of building a community of authors so we can lift as we climb and help each other. And hey, you never know. Maybe Tom, knows somebody, and maybe you can turn your book into some big hit TV movie. You never know what could happen. But it's such an amazing, incredible group of people. So yes, I'm looking for right now about six more authors. I think I have a couple people who will sign up today, and it's going to be published in January. Originally, I wanted to publish it in December, but then Glory told me yesterday when we spoke that she learned this from Jack Canfield. You always want to publish in the beginning of the year because then all year your book is 2026. So it sounds newer than last year's book. I never thought of that. I published my first book on December 30th, 2017, but that was a personal goal of mine. Had I known that, I would have waited till January.
Well,
But
and
I
here's a little trick for artists. Never date your art.
Really? What do you mean
Oh,
by that?
a lot of times people will put their dates on the back of their pieces.
Oh,
I prefer
don't
to do
put
that.
dates on your art. Oh, that's a great advice.
So, oh
I
yeah,
was thinking
it was one from
like
one of my coaches.
dating, like
No,
like
no,
what?
no. It's a
You're
lot of
dating
people
your
will
art.
sign and they date it, and it's like, no, no,
Oh,
no, no.
right,
Never
right,
do
right.
that because then people are like, oh, that's an old piece of art. They don't look at it as like, oh, that's new.
Right.
You
Because
know,
Elizabeth Gilbert shares in her book Big Magic. Have you read that?
I have
It's
not.
such a fun book for creatives. You would really enjoy it. And I have the audio version. I've listened to it at least 3 times. And there's short little chapters. So some are like 2 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. Like they're all
Unless maybe it's the
just
new book that one of my clients got me. So I I have
it's
so many books that
fun.
I don't
I
always.
know.
I might read a
Well,
couple
that's what I
chapters
love
and then you
about it
get
because
busy, you
each
know.
chapter is a story. It's a different story in itself. So you can listen to just four, like 15 minutes or whatever, and
Fun.
then you know what I mean, then do something else. That's why I love it so much. And so she was talking, I can't remember exactly, but when you said date your work, because she was like, fall in love with your process, like fall in love with the project you're working on, and treat it like you're having a passionate affair, stealing away, 15 minutes here to, whatever to work on that passion project. Or she gives some really great advice for artists and writers and creatives. So anyway, that's why I was confused. Don't put the date on your work.
Yeah. So it's just a little trick, for
Yeah.
you put it in a gallery or anything like that. So
Yeah.
little
Great tips.
tips. So I just want to say thank you to each and everybody that is here today. And thank you, Irene. It's been an honor having you on this show. I appreciate you. And if you guys have any questions, be sure to let us know. What is it, memory? Comments. This week I'm kind of focusing on memories in our group. It's Christmas, the holidays, and I want to wish you each a very Merry Christmas. Okay, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you so much. Bye.